So out on the block, your boy had no backup. You know what I'm saying?
Like backup from who? Who
like,
you?
Like I'm saying, like I remember envying a lot of cats that had like the bigger brother or the bigger sister or whatever, and like something would happen out on the block is kids, we out here playing and somebody bigger, 2 or 3 years older happens to smack up a kid that's like obviously younger, and then like now the big sister finds out about it, and as an only child, which is a unique perspective. Shout out to Dame Funk, only children.
Dame.
It's like, yo, I would oftentimes like marvel over it, like, wow, she looks just like him, but bigger, but she's a girl. You know what I mean? Like, I would trip off of like how genealogy and like genetics and whatever, and like she would show up, and now it's a situation because she's 1 year older than homeboy, and it'd be a scrap or like whatever. Yeah, your boy never really had that. Like, I had to develop some what I call physical defense mechanisms.
Explain.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
You don't have an older brother or whatever, and you out on the block, and somebody happens to like take your football. Now the older kids is running back-to-back games of like it's getting dark. You feel me? And your curfew is about up, but they still got your ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like a classic. It's the classic. Whatever. It's like, or somebody decides like, oh, the ice cream man is here. There's always that dude. Like, he don't have ice cream man money, but he's looking around at all the younger cats that might have like little. Oh, it's easy pickings for him. You know what I'm saying? Man, give me this right here. You know what I mean? Hey, that's mine. This is when you haven't developed horrible. You haven't quite developed your ebonic. You know what I'm saying? You're still just mine. Nerdy. Like, hey, that's mine. Shut up. Yes, you get smacked in the face and like pushed out the side. Now this cat is eating the push-up that you wanted. The push-up. It's got the little stick.
Oh, man.
You push it up, or your ice cream sandwich.
Oh, I love ice cream sandwiches.
Your boy, I developed some like what I call physical defense mechanisms.
Okay,
like,
what is that?
Altadena is right at the foothills of the mountains, homie. There's lots of broken branches, boulders, little baby boulders, piece of broken fence, There's lots of stuff to
hit somebody.
Oh, most definitely. And like, I developed that like early on. Like,
oh, cool.
Yo, check this out.
Oh, cool.
I might lose, but splinters on the side of your dome.
Coming for you,
yeah. I'll deal with this black eye, and maybe I'll sleep in this grass for about 2 or 3 hours.
But you're getting hit.
But you're going to be picking splinters, homie.
But you're going to get hit, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like, I've seen cats do that.
Yes, sir. I was one of them.
And even when they do, they still get respect.
Oh, most definitely.
Like it's one of them cats, like, okay,
most definitely.
So you got a hierarchy right here. And like the kids you don't mess with. Then you got this, this little slope right here of kids that you don't really want to fight. Then you got the kids that you want to fight. You'd probably be on like on the slope right here. Cause,
I developed that.
Yeah. So they're not, oh, look at this bee.
Not early on, but.
Like, you're going to leave me alone. I just want to be that, like.
You see that tree?
Mm-hmm.
That tree right there is like the home of like, I think a raccoon,
Mm-hmm.
a hive of bees, and about 4 woodpeckers. Dead ass. That tree right there.
That has like a whole what's that, echo chamber, echo dome?
It's like a condo, homie.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you got bees, you got woodpeckers, and you got squirrels.
Yeah, the squirrel, this tree right here is an orange tree, man, and he be over here just making a mess, like dropping the peelings all in my flower beds, you know what I mean? I'm like,
you know, like, hey man, these
come on, Rocky.
it's like back here's our own little world, man. Like to wake up at, like picture it, man. Those bees. No, man, picture it like you're just a freaking bee. You just wake up and just like that.
Oh man, this is like you're loving it up here if you're a bee, homie.
But like, yo, this sounds insane, man. I'm gonna say this sounds insane, but like when I wake up, I know what I'm gonna do. I know, you know, I got my routine. I'm gonna do it. Like, what about bees, man? Like, I know. Everything they do is probably so automatic and so probably regimented is they just do it. Like, fly here, do this, fly here, do this, fly here, eat, fly here. Like, it probably never deviates, and they just do that, and it's like they wake up to do that. Like, they have to do that. That's like sometimes, you know, sometimes I think that's like when you know you found something that you really are meant to do.
Right.
That automatic thing, nature takes off and you start doing it.
Right.
I think it's the same. I think the energy doesn't change through the animal. I think it's the energy that's already there.
Right.
Like when you're doing something you don't want to do, like you don't want to do it, you resist that energy. That's why you wake up so tired, angry, frustrated, because you're struggling through this energy that's foreign to you. Like I have no interest in doing this. When you find something that
like going to D and B.
Oh man, it's like you resist it. You just resist it. But when you find a purpose of something, yeah, and you become that automatic like a bee. Right. Because a bee just does all that till it falls asleep.
Right, right.
It doesn't, it doesn't look at time, doesn't look like anything. It just looks like, where it's supposed to go. So like through this COVID and everything, man, I just think there's just these mad opportunities to like expound people's minds and just think of different ways, Right. So, yeah, man, that's, So it was, I guess we just, because, we act like we're this advanced creature, this bunch of cells, and a bee is so simple, but a bee is complex. Right. It's a complex little creature, and it has this like little.
It has its duties.
Duties it must do, right. And then one day it dies, but hardly anything can throw that off. It could it could take something very big, to feel like a storm, or like something attacking the hive.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that seems to be. Excuse me. That seems to be the one thing that God has put in like all of his creatures is his that distraction momentarily from what you're doing. For example, a bee, it's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to go over here and sting homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
like why?
I need to be over here on this flower, but you know what I'm saying? Let me go sting
Let me
this.
sting him. Like why?
Quick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You weren't even supposed to.
Right.
Like, get over here. What are you doing? Just get on this flower. Like,
hey, I had the stinging. I had to. You know what I mean?
Speaking bees, man. I used to be allergic to bees. That's why when we're bringing this conversation up because I just plucked the bee off of the screen of my Mac.
Can you believe I grew up as a kid here in Pasadena, never been stung by a bee?
I got stung a few times. Recently, I got stung on my neck a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I reached back there and the bee stung me. I know how to take care of that stuff quick, man. You got to take care of it quick. It's not a big deal. When I was younger, I used to be allergic to it, but I'm better now.
Really?
Yeah. My neck blew up. So you never happened?
Yeah. Never. Now.
Wow, that's crazy.
In the process, your boy almost got hit by several cars.
Oh,
because, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really thinking about traffic at that point because you're looking back. And it's like, honk, honk. And back in those days, adults would actually cuss you out. Get your little ass off the street.
But you're like, I think you're like a little kid being chased by bees. Oh, wow.
Like, hey, sorry, sir. It was a bee. But
wow.
But getting back to what you were saying.
What's up?
No, actually, back to what I was saying.
You just heard you say. You might know what you were saying.
Trip on this, though.
So I was saying.
I just want to. No. I don't want to forget this part.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
When I learned about the what's it? La Tigre.
La Tigre.
Yeah.
The tiger. The tiger.
Yes.
Of where?
Of Brazil.
What is La Tigre to that boy?
You trip on that, dude. Nah, dude. Like,
no, the story. That's cool. I'm going to go because it sounds so crazy. Where did this come from?
It made your boy. Well, it goes back to the Portuguese that I was saying that were like rather vicious, homie.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the actual name of the person who was in power at the time or whatever, but he treated his slaves like horrible, homie. He looked at them as like expendable, you know? Like he would run them into the ground and like when they died, you know, he would just buy some more. The name La Tigre, it came from the slaves having to carry in baskets almost up to, I believe, 1/8 of a mile to the beach to dump the fecal matter that would be held in like baskets. And you know how baskets are, they aren't, you know, fluid resistant.
Ah, it's disgusting.
And a lot of the acid, the acid from the fecal matter would drip through little openings of the basket, and it would land on the arms and the legs and the shoulders and the backs of the slaves, and it would act as almost like a acidic bleach, and there'd be these scars that would remain. And so now you have these slaves with these scars that look almost like a tiger.
Wow.
And like that would, homie, when I heard that, I literally had to excuse myself, homie. I got up, I put my finger up like I was in like church, like an OG, a church person. I put their finger up. I looked at the professor. I had to walk out, man. I went into the hall, man. I had to I shed a few, homie. That, because I got the visual. Meaning, I knew what it was like here. I heard about the lynchings and the alligator bait and the you know, horrific, you know, acts here, buck breaking, you know, where, you know, they would take the biggest, strongest dude out the bunch, the leader type, and I'm using air quotes here, leader type, and they would rape him in front of everybody, and then like lynch him to, you know, send a message like, yo, we just handled your you know, most rebellious, you know, and like the mental, like I knew about that, but to hear about someone having to carry like someone else's shit up to 1/8 of a mile in baskets above their heads in like hot ass sun, and the shit is, could you imagine the smell? And it's leaking through the basket, and it's landing on the arms, shoulders, and backs and feet of like dark-skinned people, and it's leaving this this like white stripe, La Tigre.
Wow. It's horrible, man. But like, the more you focus on it, it can keep getting more horrible, though. And when you're saying that, I'm thinking about even more horrible images coming in my head. They go beyond that.
I'm sure it was.
But that's what that kind of stuff I don't like to really focus on, man, because because you can take it to a very horrible, horrid point that's probably gone. Like, it's probably where the deepest, darkest part of your mind in that scenario, it's probably really happened. So you don't want to face that because it's like, man, I don't even think that ever happened. I want this version to happen. I don't want that real version. That's why a lot of us can't handle the truth, man. A lot of us can't handle it, you know?
Well, you know what? Here's what I can say about that. Here's what I can say about that. I can say that when I was younger, out here in Pasadena, there was 2 incidents that I remember of ever seeing any sort of skinhead, neo-Nazi or whatever, like just out walking around, like out here. I'm not saying that they weren't here or whatever. I'm saying that growing up here from the 70s all the way up to the 80s into the 90s.
The helicopter's crazy.
Get a bird.
Get a bird.
Actually, that's he's like, well, I'm just flying right now over here.
Have a party downtown LA.
There's lots of trees. But growing up here, and I'm not saying like in the 80s and like the early 90s before I moved out of the city. They weren't just out just walking around just like there was no swastikas or anything else. There was 2 incidents that we actually, we actually seen them. There was one incident at school. Dude got smacked up on a GP. Just,
Who smacked him?
Like he got beat down. You know.
So the skinhead got beat down.
Yeah, and it was sort of sad because I was with the cats that did it. I thought we was just gonna have a conversation with the cat, and
He felt his heart.
And I think what happened was one of the cats. There was another cat that was from here. The other 2 cats, they weren't from here. They were going to PCC. This is like back in the day. It was like the late 80s. And this is when Fight the Power and there was sort of an Afrocentric tone in hip hop that was just, you had X Clan.
But I was after like the Bensonhurst
Nubian
and Howard Beach.
Yeah. So brothers was really heightened and not really feeling the whole racism. Not that black folks ever was, but I'm saying this was at the height of folks just still continuing with taking flight. When I say taking flight, I'm talking about taking off on a person, people getting hands placed on them just by appearance, just by you being there. That's what happened to the cat over here on campus. And then there was another time we was just coming out the gym. Skinhead is leaning on the homie's car. This is in broad daylight. This is 1987. Broad daylight. He's leaning on the back of the homie's car right down here and off of South Lake, which is like a money area. leaning over on the dude's car. We just came out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
On you and like showered up too. So you know how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
You just worked out, and then you had to like the crisp shower.
That's that confidence.
You
got like cool confidence.
Yo,
You feel like you're kind of like a man.
Came right out.
Wow.
Dude's leaning on the homie's car, drinking a 40. Dude's like, hey, get off my car.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a movie.
Mm.
Dude said he had the 40 in his left hand. He's leaning like this. He said, fuck you, nigger.
Wow.
And put the bottle up and was about to drink. And the homie, a light-skinned cat,
mm-hmm.
you gotta watch some beige Negroes, you know what I mean?
Yo, let me ask you something real quick, though. No, let me ask you something.
He timed it perfectly.
Okay, no, but let me ask you this, though.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to need to break this down, okay? Because the one cat with the beige rage, I mean, because he'd fought before apparently, like he'd been in fist fights.
Oh, most definitely.
So he was like a veteran when it came to like he'd probably been beat some cats maybe he wasn't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably had like a little extra, one of them cats a little extra something to him. So he probably, you know, a cat who underwhelmed him. He probably caught a few times. So, but I'm thinking about this skinhead must be from a soft place where he could walk up and do that to people.